becoming clearer and clearer, guys, why Hillary Clinton didn't want the Doge team to be looking around the government database.
Let me just show you Terry Moran, because who clearly has waded into legal matters that he is not qualified to speak on, because he tried understanding what I just explained to be the law. Watch him try to pin down Trump. And Trump, I'm telling you, Trump is a clever mofo. Just when you think he's like focused on like the UFC and like his polls, he knows the nuances even of laws like this. Watch where he dodges on this attempt to pin him down. He knows about expedited removal. He knows about the lower standard on due process, and he doesn't allow Terry Moran 1 inch. It's Satan. Trump was right with every word.
Yeah.
Terry Moran was in the wrong. I don't know whether he's a lawyer or not. I am. I practiced law for 10 years and covered the Supreme Court for 3. It is not true that everybody gets a hearing. It is not the law. Just Google. Go ahead and don't take my word. Google expedited removal.
To me, it's not even necessarily a legal issue. It becomes a little bit, for me, a human issue in the sense of, I get it. They came in the country illegally. But that's our fault. That's our fault to a degree for not having the right setup. And if I'm having a horrible life somewhere else and I know I can get into this country, and it's like, well, the guys before me, they were wrong. Like they set this up and you didn't get in fairly. And you've been living a very productive life here, and you've made the most of it to upend it and send. And I'm not saying that's what we're going through. That just goes back to you better be right. Like, and I'm not saying that's the legal. Like Trump may have every legal argument to be like, sorry, you're gone.
Yes, I don't know why this is getting me angry. This liberal woman tries to throw the black card in the black man's face to support her advocacy for illegal immigrants. Then she tried to use the "I'm a black advocate" bailout. Then, of course, the black woman tried to slide into get the black man in check. He stood his ground. That is according to the person who posted this video. At a certain point, when I looked at it, why these people do this often, I don't get it. It get me angry. Megyn Kelly, like you saw, she's angry simply because of that phrase Michelle Obama made recently. Like, she's not happy. She can't even sleep because of what Trump is doing with deportations. Forgetting what the husband did. There is a segment I saw on CNN. I understand you hardly watch that reason. Sometimes I summarize on these videos to show you it is important. We look into it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. It will do you no harm if you share the video.
Years of neglect and letting people walk into here without any process at all, and now you're trying to gum up the works to keep them here.
A lot of them came in. A lot of them came in with parole. A lot of them came in.
CNN polling shows 54% of Americans want Mr.
November
Abrego
polling
Garcia
showed Donald
back.
Trump won the
That's
election.
CNN polling.
November
public
polling,
is shifting.
We are a sovereign nation, and you cannot just come into our country illegally whenever the heck you want, because we can't do it to any other country on the face of this earth.
Asylum is a legal right.
If you come in illegally, you have to leave. Americans are tired of that. We do not have unlimited resources.
You know who was here illegally with a deportation order? Marco Rubio's grandfather.
All right, let's.
We're not talking about Marco Rubio.
Oh, now we're not? Now that's not relevant?
It's not
relevant. No, I'm talking about Marco Rubio because Marco Rubio
all.
used to be an advocate for TPS for Venezuelans, and Marco Rubio used to be
I'm not
an advocate for Nicaraguans and Cubans. No, I know you're not.
If you come into this country illegally, you are going home. Simple as that. We do not have unlimited resources.
I think a lot of Americans
to take care of other people.
There's a hell of a lot of people,
guys.
other than the black people who were brought here as slaves, who came to this country illegally.
They're not the same as black people who were brought here against our will.
That's exactly what I just said. I said there is a lot of
border.
There's a big difference.
There is a big difference.
That's exactly what I just said.
That's
exactly what I just said, Sir Michael. Look and act indignant. That's exactly what I just said. Let me just
share Michael.
Other than the black
Anna and share Michael.
There are a lot of people from
Share
many,
Michael, I think
many
you
countries
actually
that came
misheard
here
what
illegally.
I think you misheard what she said.
No, he purposely misheard it.
She said.
I purposely
Yes, she did.
So now you're in my
Share
brain.
Michael, listen to me for just a second.
Is that where we're going?
You
Share
think
Michael,
I would
listen to me
say
for a
I will
second.
have advocated
Anna,
for black
please
people
stop.
my entire life and say something like that?
Anna,
Because you've advocated for black people, great.
Stop.
Congratulations. Last time I checked, I'm black. You're not.
Okay, Sharon Michael.
That's right. I'm Latino, and my people are being racially profiled.
It is.
And
do I have to remind you the history of my people?
Sharon,
Do you want to go there?
No, I don't.
Do you really want to go
we're
there?
going to go to break.
Raul,
we're going to go to break. Raul Reyes, thank you very much for joining us. Everybody else, hang tight. We'll be right back.
When I was studying history, like the
Yeah, someone posted, sometimes I truly don't just understand women. This clip annoys me for two main reasons. Why even bring up slavery during an illegal immigration topic? It has nothing to do with the topic. It was only used as she scrambled to find something to throw in Shamika's face. Abby need to do a better job of correcting ignorance like this, but most times it seems like she is defending it for what I have seen. Once you realize the love and their moral superior stance and how they try to control the narrative, you will understand why they do the things they do. She mainly brought it up to put him in his place, as if she's saying, this isn't your land. Your ancestors were slaves and no different than illegal immigrants. That has always been the issues for a very long time, and I know how this play out.
People are saying that Trump did a bad job 100 days in. I strongly disagree. This man has done everything he has set out to do.
Right.
I'm black. I'm terrified. I'm scared for my trans friends. And people who we know and love, our neighbors, are disappeared. And that was the goal, and he did it. He did it. He did exactly what he wanted to do, because I, feel less welcome in my home than I did, last year. And that's the goal. That was the goal. This feeling in us is the point.
Do you think the American people go along with that? Do they want people to be disappeared?
Do they get what they voted for?
They do now. I do. People are like, ha, 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 isn't this funny? You voted for Trump and you lost your job. Ha, ha, ha. Isn't
that funny?
And I'm like, what was the math there? Because if I'm talking trash about immigrants and then I'm disappearing them, what did you think I was going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm terrified for our autistic family members. Because didn't RFK Jr. say registry? Oh, my gosh. So, look, I'm like everybody else waking up in the middle of the night going, the children. And I don't have any.
That's right.
On another clip, I want to show you something. Van Jones sat down with Trump black supporters. What he actually wanted, he didn't get it. He was shocked at their response. I've seen them every single day. Oh, people regret voting for Trump. That has been a song with some of these liberals. So doing this was actually a good idea to them.
Who would be doing a better job as president? Guess who comes out on top? Within the margin of error, but comes out on top. This looks a lot like the election result, right? Trump 45%, 2 points ahead of Harris at 43%. 12% say they'd be doing about the same. But this is the key nugget here. It's not just about regretting that vote. It's literally saying who would be doing the better job right now. And Trump continues to score a higher percentage of the vote than Kamala Harris. This looks a heck of a lot like the election result. We have just seen this in poll after poll after poll.
You do well.
And here we are in South Carolina with 3 Trump voters. You weren't always a Republican.
No. Actually, I come from a family that was like super Democratic. My first time voting, I voted Democrat. I voted for Joe Biden.
What about Trump appealed to you?
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, part of it is he's an asshole. I like authenticity.
You voted for Obama then you voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, but 2020 you voted for Donald Trump. What made the change?
I began listening to someone, her name is Candace Owens, and I read her book, and it just opened my eyes to maybe he's not this person that I have been led to believe that he was.
So you voted against Trump in 2016,
yes,
but then in 2020 you voted for him?
Absolutely.
Why?
I saw how things were going during his first term, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I was pleased with what was happening. I saw the economy getting better. I saw country relations in certain countries getting better.
What are some things that he's doing that you do like?
For me, I like the border. I just don't like the idea of someone coming here illegally and getting benefits that can serve my community. So that's the reason why I support him on that border policy.
When you think about the border, you think about people coming here who are getting more help than people who live here and who are born here.
Yeah. And I got that perspective not from news channels. I got it from social media. TikTok is like a holy grail. We even see it with the things that we learn about the United States government. Outside of the United States, people are showing Americans, hey, look at what's going on. Do y'all know that your government is doing this? Have you seen this? Have you looked at it from this perspective?
You know, people, when they think about a Trump voter, they usually think about like a white dude with like a red hat on and a pickup truck. And y'all are not that at all. So Donald Trump's team went in, they took down Harriet Tubman's picture for a quick minute. They're trying to like knock out the black museums. What does that have to do with the price of eggs, and how does that impact you?
In some ways, it's a slap in the face. In other ways, I don't care. I care more about how I'm going to take care of my children.
I don't think the average American cares about that. I know I am sick and tired of seeing black people sit there and complain about something, but not taking action and steps to actually try to change things in an appropriate manner.
Under the Trump and Biden administration, they came to certain agreements with police departments to be less brutal toward the black community. Trump has now ended all that. How does that help the black community?
I have a lot of issues with police reform and just with how police officers are treated as a whole. My husband is currently going through the process to become a police officer. The amount of hatred that cops get, even the best ones, I think has become a huge problem, because it has been, especially around election times, when it definitely comes out of like, oh no, the cops are bad, the cops hate you because you're black, they're immediately deemed as evil.
This man is talking about running for a third term. Now, what do you think about that?
The third term, for me, absolutely not. I think it's at the end of these 4 years, it's time to move on.
It is shocked. I believe you've seen that. Nobody's regretting. They are happy that he's doing everything he promised. Thank you guys for always being there, sharing all my videos. God bless you abundantly. Please never stop. Continue to share the videos and tune in when you see my notifications. If you see any clip after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
They game the system. They changed it.
And who do you see on the horizon for 2028?
Also, the first 100 days, and, you know, this is traditionally what they call...
Not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense. Because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case, because it always is one until you look at the facts.
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything, and then the...
Registration Act is
talking about this man,
My summary of the first 100 days is that
if film and TV productions continue to...
First term, and you will be very...
Somebody has to say it, so let me be...